Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my Let's Play World of Warcraft on Wednesdays. Alright, so we are starting the trilogy of the Coilfang Reservoir instances, which include, this is the Slave Pens, which is the first one, and then we'll do the other two. And I think there's a raid in here as well, which might be a fourth one that I might attempt. I haven't had much luck with the vanilla raids, so if I don't include that one in the series, then forgive me, but I'm just a failure at raids. Alright, so you're just picking up the low-level quest, because why not? Extra gold. Gold is gold, you know. Since I'm doing this, I might as well get something out of it. Let's have some, get some lobster for tonight for dinner, right? What they look like, because they look like big old lobsters, those bug strocks or whatever they're supposed to be called. Alright, and there's looking at the map and looking at, so there's 3 bosses basically that we have to deal with, and well, actually there's 2 people we have to find, but it only shows 1 on the map, we're gonna have to hunt for the other one later. Alright, so just kind of running through here. This is, of course, we're in the Burning Crusade now. So you're going to see a lot more Draenei, which are some of these workers and stuff. There's a lot of Draenei on in the Outlands. I forget exactly the history of the Draenei. I think they came from another planet, and then they landed here, and then they left, and then they ended up on Azeroth, which was part of the... If you ever play Draenei, the starting story for them is their crash site on Azeroth when they first landed, and the Blood Elves have been pursuing them. I forget exactly where the Blood Elves are supposed to come from, but somehow they're pursuing the Draenei. And so the Blood Elves kind of are showing up on Azeroth as well. Before there was just the Night Elves. Not sure if Blood Elves and Night Elves are supposed to be related. All this complicated history. Probably if I read all the novels or something, I'd probably know better. Anyway, so I have to go up into this area here to get to the first boss. And you notice I am, once again, just ignoring a lot of the trash mobs, because generally you don't need to kill them in order to get through the level. The only reason you have to kill them when you're an at-level 5-man group is because, you know, the typical 5-man groups will aggro these people, these mobs pretty easily. But at level 90, I don't aggro them very easily at all. Yep, there's the boss. Yep, I had to double check. I'm like, yep, that's him. So let's just go ahead and get him. Menu, the betrayer. I think he's considered a betrayer because all the slaves, the slaves are being enslaved by those kind of half-fish type people. Again, I'm so bad with remembering names of races and things, I'm sorry. But, so they're enslaving the Draenei, and this one Draenei he's one of the bosses. So, obviously, he's betrayed his people. Alright, so I just edited out a bunch of footage where I was trying to find a way to get to the next boss, and I just kind of ran around randomly in the lower level, and it just was like, I just can't get to him. So I decided to go this way, and I figured all of that running around was kind of pointless and a waste of your time. Not a lot of action, so I am going to try and cut out that kind of stuff where I'm kind of getting lost a little bit too much, because, I mean, you know, this video alone, before I started editing, was over 20 minutes, and so I think this is a better length. So, because I do try to keep my videos under 15 minutes if I can. I mean, obviously some of the longer videos, I mean, I kept, you know, it just was one thing after another, and it was just a long video. Especially some of the raids and stuff, those are going to be longer, and we'll see if I do any more raids or not. But even some of the instances are going to be, some of the 5-man dungeons are just going to be a little bit longer. And so here, this one is a little interesting, because I'm like, okay, how do I get over there? The bridges are broken, and it's you know, again, another one of those cases where it's been so long I don't remember. And to be perfectly honest, okay, I'm fairly sure I ran slave pens with my guild, but I don't remember this instance at all. Nothing looks familiar. I don't remember any of this. I'm like, was I paying attention at all in this game when I was playing? I mean, at this point, I was still playing my shaman healer, my resto shaman, and so I wasn't paying attention. I was just busy healing the tank the whole time, and so I'm like, and just following the leader and just not paying any attention to what the heck we were doing. And so here I'm looking around. I'm like, do I go up? Do I go down? What do I do? Okay, I'm gonna try and run and jump. Yay! And I miss. But then thankfully I realized that I can swim up here and go up, and that gets me to where I need to go. I'm like, okay, phew. So that kind of works. I'm killing these guys because they're just too close. I mean, obviously I'm killing trash mobs if they're kind of in the way, and I know that I can't get around them. But other than that, I'm trying to ignore them as much as I possibly can. Alright. So here we go out into this other kind of half of the instance, and we're going to take care of the big giant lobster. Anyone for lobster tail? It'll be enough for about 50. Look how big he is. He's huge. I mean, these little guys alone would be enough lobster tail for about 10 people. That big guy, I mean, that's a big old lobster tail right there. Not to mention the claws. I mean, from what I understand, the lobster claws have some good meat in them too, so. Anyone got some lemon and butter? Yeah, and you know, I'm actually surprised. I mean, this is, you know, level 60 plus instance, and they're still really squishy. So I have and I've already done a level 70 instance already with the Hellfire Peninsula, so I have confidence that I will be able to do pretty much all of the instances, if not the raids, but definitely the instances throughout Burning Crusade. And I believe Wrath of the Lich King should be probably fairly doable as well, just, you know, based on how things are progressing so far. So it'll be interesting to see how far I can get with the Cataclysm instances. And let's see, I know I've done a bunch of the Lich King instances. I actually kind of stopped running instances with Cataclysm. I ran a couple of them, but there's a lot of them that I haven't run. And then I definitely haven't run any of the new, no, that's wrong. I have run one of the Pandaren, Mista Pandaria instances. I ran the one brewery one, one of the early ones that you run. I have done that one. I may have done one other if I don't remember offhand. But as I get higher up, I'm definitely going to be getting into territory where I have not run the instances at all. Although the Mists of Pandaria one, I don't think I'm going to be able to solo, and I'm not sure if I can solo all of the ones for Cataclysm, but I'm going to try and solo as many of those as I can. It just depends. Alright, so we found the one guy here, and then he gives you talk to him and he gives you a blessing, which I think I still have to ask him for here in a bit. So yeah, I'm just kind of looking around at, like, what am I supposed to do? Okay, let me go talk to him again. Okay, grant me the boon. Okay, that's very nice of you. It gives me extra power so I can defeat the next boss. But this was Naturalist Bite. I'm still looking for the other guy. Like, where is he? I got Mark of the Bite, so it's like, alright, let's go ahead and let's take this guy. Take this boss out. He's down here in the water. But it still says Weeder something or other is over here too, and I'm like, it's like, where is he? why am I not finding him? The stupid map, it's like, he's not here. He's actually in a completely different location, but I'm like, you know, the map keeps telling me he's here, and I'm like, where is he? I can't find him. It's obviously a bug in the game, but I'm like, alright, fine. Let's take out this guy first. And we've got all these galloping lobsters around here, so it's like, oh, let's get rid of these guys. Just in case they become a problem. Not that I expect them to be a problem, but I'm like, yeah, let's just take care of them. Alright, now, big old Stinky is down in the water there, so I guess he's not so stinky if he's all wet. Quagmiran. It's basically a play on the name Quagmire, but, you know, whatever. And then look how glitched he is. He keeps going sideways as he's fighting me. He's like laying down, like, oh, I can fight you laying down. So there's still some bugs in this game, that's for sure. Alright, so we took care of him. Got the Slave Master's Eye. So he apparently was like the main slave master in the slave pens, so. Going back over here just one more time, like, okay, is there something I'm missing? Like, why can't I find this Weeder Green Thumb anywhere here? I'm like, okay. Found the one, didn't find the other one, he's not here. So, I finally start thinking about, okay, maybe he's somewhere else. And I thought, oh, what the heck, let me just grab stuff from these dudes. Alright, so now we gotta go find Weeder Green Thumb. So I start thinking about, okay, well, where haven't I been yet? As I've been running around and stuff. So I'm kind of looking around and I just gotta kind of wander around and find this guy. You know, this is kind of like the old days when you didn't have a map and it wouldn't tell you where the bosses were and you kind of had to hunt for them on your own. For any of you who were vanilla players, I actually, that's one of the things I hated the most about running instances, was you just kind of ran around in circles looking for this stuff. And a lot of the instances were so easy to get lost in, and so I actually kind of like, you know, I know a lot of original vanilla players are like, oh, they're making the game too easy, blah blah blah. But for people like me who just want to keep playing, and I don't want to just run around in circles all day doing nothing, I want to keep accomplishing things, and so I kind of like the fact that the map actually kind of says, okay, you gotta go this way. Now, it doesn't necessarily tell you if they're up or down, or you have to go right or left, or, you know, hey, this corridor is blocked over here, and then you have to go through the sewers to get there, that kind of thing. They don't tell you that. Alright, so now I'm running around here, so that, if I jump in the water over here, it just kind of takes me back, down through and over to the other instance, so, or to the other half, where I had to kind of jump over the bridge, go up and jump over the bridge to get there, but I'm like, wait, I think there was a ramp upstairs over here. I haven't been up there yet, so that's my next place. Because first I was searching the other slave pen, the literal slave pens, the pens with the slaves in them, and I didn't find Weeder in any of those, so I'm like, alright, let me run up here and see. And here's a dead body. And there he is, there's Weeder. Poor Weeder didn't make it. So the bite guy made it, but this guy didn't. Alright, well, we found him. Now we gotta try and figure out how to go back. And I actually kind of ran around a couple of places, and it took me a while to run all the way back, and I thought, well, you know what, I'm gonna skip all that. You guys don't want to see me run all the way back to turn in the quests, so I just kind of cut that stuff out for you, too. Alright, so we've completed the Coilfang Reservoir slave pens. And we'll go on to the next one next week. And like I said, me and my memory, I don't remember the name of it, but for those of you who know, you'll know which one is the next one I'm going to do, and I'll do all 3 of the 5 mans, and we'll see if I do the raid or not. I'm going to attempt it, but thanks for joining me this week. Until next week, take care, and remember to embrace randomness. Bye-bye.